आर्थराइटिस है, तो उसके लिए मैंने खून दिया है। 6 तारीख को खून दिया है, कितना दिन हो गया? अब कब वो रिपोर्ट मिलेगी, कब मेरी आगे की जांच होगी, कब इलाज चालू होगा?
हम तो अनपढ़ है, डॉक्टर लोग तो पढ़े लिखे, उन लोग को तो समझ होनी चाहिए। चलो भाई गलती हो गई, माफ़ कर दो। भगवान माफ़ कर देता तो इंसान की क्या औकात है? इंसान को माफ़ कर देनी चाहिए।
शुगर है, ब्लड प्रेशर है, चक्कर आ रहा है एकदम, तो डॉक्टर के पास गए कि थोड़ा दवा भी लिख दो, तो दवा भी नहीं लिख के दे रहे हैं।
हम लोग गरीब हैं, हम लोग प्राइवेट में उतने जा नहीं सकते। इधर आते हैं सरकारी में कि 2 पैसा अपना बचेगा, बाल बच्चे को देखेंगे, तो इन लोग तो खाली बोलते जाओ बाहर जाओ बाहर जाओ बाहर जाओ।
बच्चे को मेरे कल से बुखार चढ़ उतर चालू है। अभी आई हूँ, फॉर्म लेने के लिए जाती हूँ, तो बोलते हैं डॉक्टर साहब हड़ताल में, ओपीडी में बच्चे का डॉक्टर नहीं मिलेगा, कहीं भी नहीं मिलेगा। अगर बच्चे का कुछ कम ज्यादा होता है तो उसकी जिम्मेदारी कौन लेता है?
आता तो हर दिन है इधर, लेकिन एक दिन भी डॉक्टर मिलता ही नहीं। जब भी आता तभी मैडम बोलता है डॉक्टर आएगा।
अच्छा हो रहा है क्या? एक के साथ में सबको तकलीफ हो रही है ना, करने वाला एक करा, एक की सजा सब जन ये करेंगे क्या हम लोग?
Chief Minister in his speech in the assembly stated that they will start taking legal action against these resident doctors, as they have provided them with all that they can, all the assurances both written and verbal to these doctors, despite which they are not coming back to work.
अभी हमने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स को कहा है कि डॉक्टर्स को सिक्योरिटी दी जानी चाहिए और उसके लिए जो भी उचित व्यवस्था की जा सके उसको करने की आवश्यकता है।
Part of our practice of face the violence from the patients, maybe in the form of physical abuse, verbal abuse, physical assault. Recently, one of my juniors also faced it. So it's not that the Maharashtra doctors fighting for their own cause. It's the pan-India problem, and that's why we all are supporting it.
The poorest of the poor in our cities are suffering because they are in need of medical care that they are not receiving. Our reporters spent the day today outside of government hospitals speaking to people who have very, very sick children who cannot find medical care. People like the person you're seeing on your screen right now who has TB, who should be in a hospital, who is sitting on a footpath being tended to by his family, unable to breathe because he is being turned away from hospitals. At this point, we need to really ask ourselves where our priorities lie. Why have we not managed to solve this problem? Is the cost of life, is the price of life so cheap in our country that we have decided that if it is the poorest who need our help, then we can wait an extra day? I do not understand why this has not been solved and why the government and the doctors have not managed to meet each other midway and put all of this behind them. We also understand that the offices of general practitioners across our cities are currently full because of the lines and the extra load that they are receiving that the hospitals are not taking in. To make matters worse, the people representing these doctors, which is the Maharashtra Association of Resident Doctors, have now stepped away from the striking doctors and say that they no longer represent them. There's chaos in an industry that shouldn't have any chaos right now. And nothing is being done to help the people you see on your screen. And these people are our focus. I want to remind our viewers one more time that we do not care about the politics behind any of this. We only care that the apathy be set aside and the people who are currently not doing their jobs, which is mainly the government and the doctors in question, get back to work. Joining us on the show this evening, Yogesh Verma, spokesperson of the BJP here in Maharashtra, Shailesh Gandhi, former CIC and RTI activist, Sujay Kantawala, senior lawyer in Mumbai, Aditya Pratap is also an advocate, Dr. Sanjay Nagral is a surgeon and the chairperson of the Forum of Medical Ethics, and Dr. Rekha Agarwal is a consultant and an OBGYN at Leelavati Hospital. Dr. Sanjay Nagral, please explain to us and explain to our viewers what the situation is right now, because until last night, the Maharashtra Association of Resident Doctors was negotiating with the government. Today, we understand that the association has pulled out of the strike, but the doctors are still striking. Why is there so much chaos in the medical fraternity?
So I just spoke to my own resident doctors before I appeared on the program. I work in a public hospital and there are residents working under me. It seems to me that there was this whole parlays that happened today. And I, as someone who led strikes in the past, remember that there are always these mediators who come in, and the IMA always acts as a mediator. And it seems today that with the Chief Minister, the IMA met up with the Chief Minister, and the rank and file of the resident doctor feels that they have not been heard and that their viewpoint has not been heard, and they were not even allowed to meet the Chief Minister. And therefore, it seems to me that there is some sort of dissent.
But if the association has met the Chief Minister, if the IMA has met the Chief Minister, doesn't the association represent all the resident doctors? Were they expecting individual meetings?
Well, so, you know, I'm not privy to the details, but I'm just conveying to you
Yes.
my understanding of what they're feeling. They probably feel that the Chief Minister should have called some of the key resident doctors from various hospitals. And it seems that the IMA sort of, that's the feeling, that they brokered some sort of a deal and unilaterally announced the withdrawal of the strike. And therefore, it seems that they want to go on with the strike. Having said that, my personal view on this is that they should not stretch it too far, because the courts have ordered them to go back. The Chief Minister has promised. Not that all the promises will be kept. We know from the history of the last few decades that not all promises are kept. But I think for the resident doctor, my suggestion is that public perception is very important. And if they lose public sympathy, they may be heading for trouble.
So here's my question. You say you work in a public hospital yourself. The government tells us 700 armed guards have been released to various hospitals for the next 15 days. Police officers have inspected medical colleges, and police officers have in fact being stationed around 16 medical colleges across the state. Is this true? Have you seen an increase in security in the hospital that you work at?
Well, I haven't, but I think they're talking of doing it in the near future, maybe from tomorrow. But you know my view, and I've said this on your program, that I just find it ridiculous that we are talking of hospitals as conflict zones and we are talking of armed guards. I think it's a classic knee-jerk reaction. I think that's the problem, that instead of addressing some of the key issues, the key doables, many of which will reduce the problem, if not eliminate it, we will now talk of armed guards. And, you know, in the healthcare sector, where human-to-human contact is important, I cannot imagine how you can have armed guards protecting doctors at every level and every layer where the doctor-patient.
But I mean, to be fair to the government, armed guards or guards at all was not something the government came up with. This was something that the doctors demanded themselves. Dr. Rekha Agarwal, where do you stand on this strike? Shouldn't these resident doctors go back to work, given the fact that the poorest patients in our cities and our state are suffering right now?
Faye, I think let's set the tone right first of this debate. This is not doctors versus patient. This is not doctors versus government. Just understand, what are the doctors asking? Are they asking for money? Are they asking for shorter work hours? They are just asking for safe condition to work in, to work fearlessly. Is that too much to ask? You tell me, tomorrow you come to the studio where you think you can be beaten by one of us. Would you not ask for an armed guard to stand so that we cannot beat you up? They are just asking for their security so that they can work for these patients. Mind you, they have been working day in, day out, and their heart is also bleeding because they are not able to attend the ailing. So it is not as if they are enjoying. They are on the streets just so that they can be safe, so that their parents can be assured that, okay, my child who's working as a doctor will come back home safe. So where is the question of
but Dr. Agarwal, do you think here that 700 security guards
sensitive?
Do you think here 700 security guards, police officers stationed at 16 hospitals, is that not an indication of security being provided? Why is it that the doctors still haven't come back to work?
The thing is, these are promises. They have been promised in the past also, and those promises have not been kept. So probably they are still feeling that this could have been done faster. I agree with you that if the Chief Minister has on camera agreed to give all the facilities, somewhere, yes, we have to trust them and we must, take his word. But the problem is, time and again this has happened, the strike is withdrawn and everything goes back to square one. So that is probably what is keeping them from not withdrawing till everything is implemented.
Yogesh, let me bring in Yogesh Verma here. Yogesh Verma, you just heard what was being said. The fact that even though the Chief Minister has given his assurances, the doctors are not willing to listen. What is the government's next step? What is the government going to do next?
देखिए, मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि मेडिकल प्रोफेशन और डॉक्टर्स जो है वो समाज की नज़रों में एक बहुत ही पायस ऐसा प्रोफेशन है। कई बार लोग इनको भगवान तक की उपाधि दे देते हैं। इंसिडेंट जो हुई वो माफ़ी के काबिल नहीं है, यानी डॉक्टरों के ऊपर हाथ उठाना ये भयंकर गलत बात है, लेकिन उसके सामने प्रोटेस्ट भी होना चाहिए और प्रोटेस्ट करना ये लोकतंत्र में सबसे अच्छी बात है, लेकिन वो प्रोटेस्ट किस हद तक जाना चाहिए। आपने देखा होगा कि सैकड़ों पेशेंट्स की ज़िंदगी के साथ खिलवाड़ हुआ है। कितने पेशेंट्स का एग्जैक्टली फिगर क्या है, इस स्ट्राइक के अंदर कितने पेशेंट्स का फेटल हुआ, कितने पेशेंट्स की जो तकलीफ है वो बड़ी है, तो ये भी आंकड़े बाहर आने चाहिए। और मुझे लगता है कि चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब ने एक तो पूरा एश्योरेंस दिया, दूसरा चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब ने यहाँ तक कह दिया कि मैं अगर चाहिए तो मैं पैर छू के माफ़ी मांगने को तैयार हूँ, लेकिन आप लोग काम पर वापस आइए, क्योंकि गरीब और एकदम अति गरीब लोग इससे अफेक्टेड हो रहे हैं। तो सभी डॉक्टरों से और एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक प्रवक्ता होने के नाते भी मैं पूरे समाज की ओर से मैं कहता हूं कि जो भी डॉक्टर्स हैं जो अभी तक काम पर फिर वापस नहीं आए हैं, वो सभी ने इस स्ट्राइक को तुरंत ही खत्म करके और फिर पेशेंट्सों की ओर ध्यान देना चाहिए, गरीब पेशेंटों को ध्यान देना चाहिए। ये हमारा और पार्टी का भी यही सोचना है और आम व्यक्ति का ये सोचना है कि डॉक्टर ये अपने आप में एक भगवान के जैसा उनका दर्जा है, तो उसको वो मेंटेन करके रखें।
But unfortunately, Yogesh Verma, God is on strike at this point. I want to bring in Shailesh Gandhi. Shailesh Gandhi, is this what we need? Assurances from the Chief Minister and an offer to touch their feet and ask them to go back to work. What is needed at this point?
We had this conversation last night, and I think it was very clear what the doctors were saying. The resident doctors are saying our lives are at stake. We feel insecure when we go to work. If we are coming with a critical patient, we still feel completely devastated because we don't know what can happen. No doctor guarantees life.
No, but
given the situation,
if they're feeling insecure and 700 armed security guards have been released to them, what more can the government do?
Last 3 times, as the representative told us yesterday, courts have given an order, affidavits have been filed in the court, and nothing has happened. This is true. Why doesn't the Chief Minister give it in writing to these young students? That's all they are asking for. They are also saying that only 1 or 2 visitors per patient should be allowed. That assurance is also not being given in writing. The court has given an order which is also still not in writing. Is it too much for people who feel threatened to say we must have things in writing? Though earlier written orders have been flouted, earlier written orders have not been adhered to, even then today these kids are only saying, please give us in writing because our security is at stake.
Is this too much? 700 security guards, police officers in 16 colleges. This is a statement given out by the CMO, by the Chief Minister's office. What more can we expect in writing?
As doctor said, he hasn't seen anything. We have no real confirmation of this. But even assuming it is, if it is given in writing, then there is an assurance that, okay, this will be the permanent thing, which also they flouted earlier. It's not that they haven't flouted this, but I think given the fact that promises have been broken by the government, courts have not been able to get their orders enforced by the government, and the courts today also, from the best of my understanding, has not given a written order to these kids. I think it's not unreasonable. They are not soldiers, they are doctors, they don't want to be martyrs and go to doctors. And the for the suffering patients is not of the doctors, it's of the administration, the government and others who should give them adequate security.
जो कि तुरंत बंद होना चाहिए.
To what Mr. what Mr. Shailesh Gandhi is saying, what we are seeing is a complete non-performance of statutory duties. We have the Doctors Protection Act of Maharashtra, which makes it a criminal offence to use any act of violence against a medical practitioner. To this date, the convictions under this act has been negligible. In fact, it takes tremendous effort to get the police to even register an FIR under such an act. Usually, if a doctor is harassed, the police may register either an NC or they may register an offence for simple hurt, and then the investigation languishes. When in fact the Doctors Protection Act of 2010...
So Aditya, do you see, my problem here with all of this is with the statements coming from the doctors, with the statements coming from the state government and Shailesh Gandhi, with what you're saying as well, somebody needs to crystallize what the doctors want. Do you want it in writing? Do you want actual, like, there are assurances that have been given, the assurances have been given in writing, the High Court has given an order. None of it seems to add up to bring these doctors back to work. What do they want at this point?
First of all,
and there's a breakdown of communication between the doctors and the association. So now who is the state government supposed to be talking to?
The role of the government should be to enforce the law. First of all, you have the Essential Services Maintenance Act. Under Section 2A of the Essential Services Maintenance Act, the medical system, the hospitals, doctors, etc., they are an essential service and they cannot go on strike. Likewise, you should implement the Doctors Protection Act, which provides for a criminal offence for any harassment to a doctor. What we are saying is the doctors are violating the law, the government is violating the law, the police does not perform its duty.
Unfortunately, in our country, the law is constantly being violated.
It is a sad story.
Sujay Kandawala, see, let's be honest, the Doctors Protection Act has been around for a while. That is not something we can change overnight to make these doctors go back to work.
7 years.
My point is, how do we get them to go back to work? Because people are dying. On last count, a PIL that was filed in the High Court said 58 people died. How do we stop that from turning into 65, 70 and 75?
As far as I can see, there are 3 things the doctors are demanding, these residents, and they haven't asked anything else. The working conditions are terrible. They are not talking of that. They are not talking of salaries. They are only saying 2 visitors per patient. They are saying adequate guards. And they are saying that those who assault them must be immediately prosecuted. And one 4th thing is, in writing, and I repeat, in writing, the Chief Minister and the court should give an order, which none of which has been done.
Yesterday's order is available. It is available on the website. It has been widely circulated also, in which this 2 relative per patient, during even visiting us, that has been taken cognizance by the Chief Justice's court. Look, I was there in the court today also. I must applaud and I must commend that our Chief Justice has looked into this issue in a very sympathetic manner. You have rival claims here. You have the association, the secretary and the president, they have filed the affidavit. But the order of the court to resume duty from tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock is binding on all of us.
If they don't resume duty tomorrow morning,
then the law will take its course as far as each individual is concerned.
What happens?
This you cannot flout the court's orders. The court has been very sympathetic. The court has taken this into consideration and has again kept the matter on Monday at 3 p.m. too. So therefore, all these issues are going to be decided. There is going to be a mechanism which is going to put in place. Maybe an expert committee, maybe some lawyers may be a part of that committee. But look at the suffering that the public is going through today. And this is not like a lawyer who will take a date and maybe come on the next date. This is a health problem. There are people who are dying. So therefore, the Chief Justice said, you please start resuming your duties.
But they have
public
not,
health.
They have not resumed their duties, Sujay.
No, therefore, till tomorrow morning 8 o'clock is given. I hope better sense prevails. And I am also saying with folded hands, you should comply with the court orders. The court order was dictated in open court. There were hundreds of people in the court. They have witnessed that this is the court order. And therefore, even the Advocate General, I must appreciate the role of the Advocate General.
If you were there, Sujay, you were there. Now, you explain to us this. If these doctors are saying we have not received the court order in writing, does that count?
No. According to me, that is head splitting the issue. That is not allowed. According to me, that is completely wrong. The order was dictated in court. The entire media was there. After that, the bites have been given to various media channels. The order is available. People are WhatsApping, social media. This is what it is. And this, I appreciate your doing this show today. I'm making this statement before the public today that this is the order of the court. I'm an officer of the court. I have intervened in this on the behalf of the Association of Medical Consultants. And we want to also be a part of this mechanism. We don't want this to happen again. We cannot afford that this happens again and again and we lose lives. We cannot afford our citizens suffering.
You represented, Sujay Kandawala, the medical consultants in High Court on this very matter, and your recommendation at this point is that they go back to work tomorrow morning
It's
at 8
not my recommendation. They have no choice. It's an order of the court. We are a country bound by the rule of law.
Yes.
And we have a very sympathetic Chief Justice. So please don't do this. Please start resuming your duty from tomorrow. If not tomorrow, tonight. Do that. First show. First do your duty and then expect the state to then reciprocate. Don't ask what the state will do for you. First, you start doing your duty, start treating your patients. Look at the appalling images that we are seeing. I mean, this is unpardonable.
It's heartbreaking. Dr. Sanjay Nagar, do you believe that the residents tomorrow morning are going to defy the order of the court of law and be in contempt?
I can't predict that, but you know, I'll just take you back to an incident. We led a strike in the 1980s, and there was passions running high. Mr. Tinaikar was the municipal commissioner at that time, and you know what Mr. Tinaikar did? He actually called the MAD representatives home. He sat us down on the lawn of the municipal commission and said, "Tell me what the problem is. I'm here to listen to you." And we just vented out our anger. We told him everything. And we went back home. We went back and resumed work. So all I'm saying is, whilst the court can give all sorts, Mr. Fadnavis, 10 minutes, call one resident doctor.
Actually, here's another question to be asked. And Sujay, I'm going to ask you this question. Sujay, you are saying that the court of law's order is binding on all of us. Nobody is above the law. We have repeated instances where the court has repeatedly told the government of Maharashtra to provide security to these doctors. It has not been done. So why is it that the government can get away with not following a court order, but the doctors have to follow the order?
No, see, this is the act. The act provides for this, and the court orders have also said that they have to be given. So I agree. I agree that that has happened. But look at it today. Look at it in today's situation. Today, the doctors have to start, and immediately other things will follow, because this is a continuing PIL. And the court is seized of the matter. The court has said that we are going to continuously monitor this on a sort of a weekly basis. And therefore, the court is personally looking into it. Let's respect what the court is doing for us. Ultimately, the court orders are for all of us.
Dr. Rekha Agarwal, do you agree? Dr. Rekha Agarwal, do you agree that the doctors should go back to work at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, because we cannot afford any more of the chaos that we are seeing in government hospitals?
Before I agree, I would like to ask our political representative, when Singhania Hospital was broken down, was thrashed completely, it has not yet stood up again. What, has even one person been convicted? Has even one person who broke the Singhania Hospital been convicted? Has any conviction taken place when there has been a violence against any hospital personnel? In the past, nothing. Why the law is so meek? Why we have a law where people are getting away with hitting doctors, getting away with breaking down hospitals? Why aren't we giving more teeth to the law? This is what I want to know.
Yogesh Verma should ideally answer, after which you can respond.
Why are we not making it non-bailable? It is already in the books as non-bailable.
देखिए मैं एक बात बता रहा हूँ, पुराना जो भी कुछ हो गया वो आज ये तय करने का समय नहीं है। आज तो उन गरीब पेशेंट्स के ऊपर ध्यान देने का समय है जो रोज मर रहे हैं। इतने गरीब पेशेंट हैं, उनके जेब में 100 रुपए नहीं होते हैं, उनको अपने 2 साल का बच्चा, अपनी छोटी बच्ची, अपना पति घर में एक कमाने वाले को बचाने की आज जद्दोजहद में है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये सारे विषय ये इसके बाद में भी डिस्कस हो सकते हैं। लॉ इस देश का बहुत ध्यान दे रहा है इन सब चीजों के ऊपर, और हमारे फडणवीस जी की सरकार, भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार इस विषय को बहुत सीरियसली ले रही है। आपने जैसे ही कहा वैसे हमने वैसा का वैसा ही 700 लोगों का एक स्क्वाड जो सभी जगह पर जाकर के प्रोटेक्ट करेगा, सब चीजों में हाथ भरी है। कोर्ट आप लोगों को कुछ सुझाव दे रहा है। मुझे लगता है कि अब इसमें ज्यादा बहस न करते हुए अपनी जिद को छोड़ते हुए, उन गरीब पेशेंट्स को देखते हुए, उनकी जिद को छोड़ते हुए आपने वापस अपने काम को रिज्यूम करना चाहिए। आंदोलन करना ये हर एक का अधिकार है और आंदोलन होना भी चाहिए। चीजों को ठीक ठाक करने के लिए इस देश में लोकतंत्र है, लोकतंत्र के अंदर अपने आवाज को बुलंद करने के लिए आंदोलन है। लेकिन जब ये आंदोलन आम जनता के, गरीब लोग के हित की जान से खिलवाड़ करने लग जाए, जब उनकी जान जाने लग जाए, तो मुझे लगता है आंदोलन का उधर ही समाप्त करना चाहिए। सिंगानिया अस्पताल और बाकी जो भी अस्पताल का जब भी जो इंसिडेंस हुआ, तब न भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार में नहीं थी, वो पुरानी सरकारें थी, लेकिन आपने विषय निकाला है तो उस विषय के ऊपर भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार जो है वो ध्यान देगी और ये कोशिश करेगी कि जो भी मिसक्रिएंट इस किस्म का काम करते हैं, जो डॉक्टरों के ऊपर हाथ उठाते हैं,
अभी तक क्या हुआ है, अभी तक क्या हुआ है,
रिश्तेदार है, वो उनके ऊपर हमला। अभी क्या हुआ, देखिए मैं आपको फिर वापस
एक साल में हुआ क्या, आप बताइए, लास्ट एक साल में हुआ क्या? कोई
आप एक आदरणीय डॉक्टर हैं और आप, मुझे लगता है कि ये समय नहीं है लोगों को भड़काने का, ये समय नहीं है कि जो भी डॉक्टर्स है जो स्ट्राइक पे है, आपके एसोसिएशन ने कह दिया है कि आप वापस रिज्यूम हो जाइए, कोर्ट बोल रहा है वापस रिज्यूम हो जाइए।
डॉक्टर रेखा अग्रवाल, I understand that. I also understand that when doctors are treating someone and family members, and that's a very sad image is one doctor has lost his eye and such appalling things. That also should not happen. I agree. I fully agree. But today, what is the need of the hour? It's a continuing PIL. Please, all interested parties join this PIL. Put your grievances before the court. The court is seized of the matter. It's before the bench of the Chief Justice. So please join this PIL. Please give your suggestions. We are all trying to make our efforts and work out a mechanism.
So you are saying
it's a social
go back
issue.
to work, let the court of law do its duty, hear out the PIL. It will be continuing. This is not the final hearing of the PIL.
Look, our High Court has dealt with these kind of issues. Our High Court has passed fantastic judgments, and I'm 100% sure, I have full faith that in this matter also is a practical mechanism ultimately will be rolled out. But please resume your duties. First step is that. Cut to, we go to the other things. Join the PIL. Please assist the court. We are all trying to assist the court and come out with a mechanism.
Dr. Agrawal, point number one I'd like to make to you is that the Chief Minister met with doctors twice since the strike came out. So your point of the fact that, you know, in your experience, if there's one good conversation that's enough to make them go back to work, that should have happened already. And do you not buy what Sujay Kantawala and more importantly what Yogesh Verma is saying, which is that the government will do its part. What needs to happen right now, the need of the hour is for the doctors to go back to work so people can get care.
Yeah, so the point I'm making is that the Chief Minister apparently spoke mainly to the IMA. The IMA is not representing the resident doctors.
Why
They are
not?
the mediators. The IMA is the Indian Medical Association, which represents the non-resident doctors. So that's one point.
What about the Maharashtra Association of Resident
Doctors?
Doctors?
By some coincidence, all the IMA members who met him were from Nagpur, that apart. The second point I'm making is that, you know, if you actually study many of these acts of violence, in a large number of them, there's this provocation from politicians. We don't want to go back to the Singhania case, but there was a member of parliament from there who led the mob. And that's what brings in the mistrust. But I want to bring a third point, which is this, that, you know, whilst we are looking at this issue, and I said this on your program last week, that, you know, the systemic problem, where is it? What's the systemic problem? Poor emergency care, poor referrals, poor casualty. There is a bill lying with the Maharashtra government called the Clinical Establishments Act. I was a member of that committee. And in that bill, we tried to put forth a structured method of emergency care in the state of Maharashtra. Ambulances. That bill is with the government, and if Mr. Fadnavis and the BJP person is listening, please look at that bill. The bill actually lays down certain procedures.
How long has that bill been with the government?
2 years, because it was presented to the previous government. I must also add this very quickly. That bill actually was also not supported by the IMA. So there's a problem here. There's a problem here that there are vested interests even in the medical profession.
So you're saying basically a group of young student doctors are on strike, but the people that the Chief Minister is meeting are doctors from Nagpur who have very little to do with the actual doctors who are facing the problems on the ground.
So that's what I was told, that there were IMA people from Nagpur. So this is classic, in my view, the way government negotiates. You know, you have some mediators.
What about the Maharashtra Association of Resident Doctors?
Yeah, so the Maharashtra Association of Resident Doctors apparently yesterday said that we have nothing to do with the strike. I think that's strategy probably. But all that one has to do is call the actual resident doctors. I gave you the Thinakar example.
To add to what Dr. Nagral is saying, they have filed affidavits today in the court. They have tendered their affidavits in open court, and they have said that, look, as far as the MARD is concerned, we have not issued any such flyer. What is being done is on an individual level. So therefore, the court passed the order and said that you should come back on duty before 8 a.m. tomorrow. And that is what the sentiment of the court was. The sentiment of the court was that we cannot have more people suffering. We cannot have more people dying. And now, let me tell you this. Since the Bombay High Court, the Chief Justice's bench is seized of the matter, I am sure that the doctors can be rest assured that very soon a practical mechanism will fall into place. Only thing, resume your duty and give your suggestions.
But these doctors have no representation at this point. Yes, Aditya?
Legally, for a doctor to go on strike is illegal. Not only does it violate the Essential Services Management Act, but also it violates the judgment of the Allahabad High Court in the case of Moti Lal Yadav versus State of UP. In this judgment, the court held that for a doctor to go on strike, it directly violates the right to life. It is the fundamental duty of a doctor to treat the patient.
Is it time for the government to invoke ESMA?
No, it is. And furthermore, the High Court, the directions of the High Court were very clear that if a patient dies due to a doctor's strike, the state government shall pay 25 lakh rupees as compensation to that patient, and this amount of compensation shall be recovered from the striking doctors. Further, if a patient dies because of a doctor's strike, then the relatives of that patient will have the right to file tort proceedings, civil and criminal proceedings against the doctor. And it is important to note that under the Mumbai Municipal Corporation Act, any patient who is admitted in a hospital, he is admitted under the care of a particular doctor who has to sign on the admission slip. So if that doctor, after admitting the patient, goes on strike, he will be held liable for dereliction of duty and not attending to the patient. He will have financial liability, civil and criminal liability.
Right. Let me bring in a phone call. Aussie's on the phone line right now from Mumbai. Our phone lines are open for our viewers who want to be part of this conversation. Aussie, you are on the show. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why such a big issue is being made about this whole debate. All the doctors are asking is, ki bhai, somebody is hitting me there. Please protect me. I'm ready to do my duty. I'm ready to serve those patients. Which doctors are doing, hats off to them. If you see the way the service they give the poor patients in such pathetic conditions, all they're asking is, yeah, I just want safety. I would like to ask all the panelists, whichever profession you are in, if tomorrow somebody is going to hit you there where you're going to for your job, will you go there? You say, no, let them hit me, but I'll go and do my duty. Or will you ask for some protection?
Yogesh Verma, answer that question on behalf of the government. Will you go to your office tomorrow if you feel someone is going to beat you up at your office?
मैं वापस बोल रहा हूँ, सरकार ने और आगे कि इनकी सुरक्षा सुनिश्चित करने के लिए प्रॉपर सरकार कदम उठाएगी. सरकार इसके आगे ऐसी कोई घटना नहीं हो, उसका खुद मुख्यमंत्री देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने एश्योरेंस किया है. और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इस बात को अभी ऐसा कैसे होगा, कल क्या होगा, परसों क्या होगा, इसके ऊपर एज्यूम न करते हुए, गरीब पेशेंट्स का ध्यान रखते हुए आपने वापस से अपने काम पे आ जाना है. हमारे नौजवान सैनिक जब बॉर्डर पे लड़ते हैं, तो अगर वो ये बोलने लग जाए कि अगर मुझे गोली लगेगी तो क्या होगा, मेरा ऐसा होगा तो क्या होगा, आप लोग
एक मिनट
जून 2016 में गवर्नमेंट ने एफिडेविट दिया था कोर्ट को.
आप लोग
योगेश वर्मा जी कंफ्यूज मत कीजिए, ये आर्मी वाले नहीं है, ये डॉक्टर है. उनको दे हैव नॉट साइंड अप फॉर दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ, दीस आर सिविलियंस, दे हैव नॉट साइंड अप. एंड आई थिंक Shailesh Gandhi, I think this is completely unfair to invoke the sacrifice of the Indian army, which is sacred in itself, in these sort of random, disrespectful comparisons. I think it's completely unfair, Shailesh Gandhi.
I think this gentleman is really disrespecting the memory of those Jawans who go and fight on the border. That's a completely different thing. These are young doctors who did not go in to risk their body. They went in saying, I will serve. And it is very well known that their service conditions are worse than that of police constables. That's one of the worst service conditions anybody has in government jobs. Despite that,
and Shailesh Gandhi, you know better than everybody else that the government has given repeated assurances in the past,
and they have not fulfilled them. Even today, what they are seeking is,
संभालने की कोशिश करेंगे तो अच्छा
as
रहेगा.
Doctor told us,
भड़काऊ बातें तो कोई कितना भी कर सकता है.
No, why doesn't the chief minister at least talk to them?
की बातें करेंगे.
He will talk to everyone else who's not concerned, but he will not talk to them.
We have to see the
inform the High Court.
Guards will not solve the problem. There is a systemic problem at the police levels, at the criminal justice levels.
One second, Yogesh Verma ji, हमारे राज्य में जितने सारे करप्ट पॉलिटिशियंस हैं उनको तो बड़ी जबरदस्त प्रोटेक्शन मिलती है. Tell me how many police officers are being employed right now to protect politicians, and you are telling me that doctors should go to work like army officers, like army jawans, being willing to take a bullet if they have to.
हॉस्पिटल है जितने भी हेलो,
आप एक काम कीजिए ना, आप सारे पॉलिटिशियंस के प्रोटेक्शन खींच लीजिए और गिव इट टू द डॉक्टर्स. If you ask the people of this state, they'll be very happy with that move. लाल बत्ती के जितने सारे प्रोटेक्शन की पुलिस ऑफिसर्स हैं, उनको वहां से निकाल के आप अस्पताल में भेज दीजिए. आप ये क्यों नहीं करते? आप भी जाइए पॉलिटिशियंस आर्मी जवान की तरह, आप भी ब्रेव होके जाइए, आप भी जाइए 2 रोज काम पे.
हम सब ब्रेव हैं. पॉलिटिशियंस लोग कितना लोगों को फेस करते हैं, कौन से और लोगों का सामना करते हैं.
आप बताइए मुझे कि महाराष्ट्र में how many politicians have protection, how many police officers and how many police constables are dedicated to the protection of VIPs, Bollywood stars and politicians in the state of Maharashtra. Pull them and put them in the hospitals and the doctors will go back to work. अगर आप लोगों को इतनी तकलीफ हो रही है ये footage देखे हुए, and I want to play this footage right now. This is the footage of the people on the street who need help. If this is bothering the government of Maharashtra, if this is bothering the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, tell him to pull security from all VIPs in Maharashtra and put that security in the hospitals so that these people can get the treatment that they need and the doctors will go back to work. Dr. Sanjay Nagral, do you believe that if that is done, the doctors will go back to work?
Yeah, so you know that there's obviously a credibility crisis as far as the government is concerned. And I also want to say this, that please don't talk about ESMA. Please don't talk about laws like that.
You can't discount the law, please.
Well, we can't discount the law, but we can comment on the law.
No,
these are two different things.
Had the law been enforced, the scene of striking would never have come into place.
We can have our opinion.
Had anyone done his duty, such a situation would never have come. Today, if a doctor is harmed, you can invoke section 107.
Lawyer strikes are
One second.
Please don't bring lawyer strikes here. We are discussing doctor strikes. We are not discussing lawyer strikes.
One second.
If a lawyer strikes, you have the Supreme Court judgment to help you.
I want to circle back to one thing. How many police officers, constables and security guards are currently being used for VIP security for politicians and Bollywood stars in the state of Maharashtra? Most film stars live in the state of Maharashtra. Can those security guards and police officers not be pulled out of that security and moved to the hospital in an emergency situation to get these doctors to go back to work? Yogesh Verma, answer that question.
आप अभी इस बहस को बदल रही हैं.
नहीं, मैं कहाँ बदल रही हूँ?
कि अगर कहीं पर जहाँ कम वहाँ हम. देखिए, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हमारा ये टीवी चैनल एक माध्यम होना चाहिए जो समाज के हित के लिए काम करे.
हम समाज के हित के लिए काम कर रहे हैं सर.
दो अलग अलग लोगों को जो जहां पर एक कोई चीज भड़की हुई है, उस भड़की हुई चीज को शांत न करते हुए उसमें एक और नई चीज डालना और नया कंपैरिजन करके उनको और भड़काना ठीक नहीं है.
स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने 700 सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स की कमिटमेंट दी है. वो 700 सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स अभी तक अस्पतालों में पहुंचे नहीं है. अगर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के पास सिक्योरिटी गार्ड की कमी है या पैसों की कमी है तो आप VIP लोगों से उनकी सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स 5-15 दिन के लिए मांग लीजिए उधार पे कि आप 15 दिन के लिए सिक्योरिटी के बिना चलाइए अपना काम और हम सिक्योरिटी अस्पताल में भेज देंगे.
साथ कर रही हैं आप कौन सी चीज का कंपैरिजन किस चीज के साथ कर रही हैं?
मैं बताती हूँ. मैं बॉलीवुड स्टार्स और पॉलिटिशियंस की कंपैरिजन इन लोगों से और डॉक्टरों से कंपेयर कर रही हूँ. आपने शुरुआत में बोला डॉक्टर भगवान की तरह होता है, तो भगवान को आप थोड़ा सा सिक्योरिटी दे दीजिए.
नहीं तो किसने मना किया है? मुझे
तो सिक्योरिटी पहुंची क्यों नहीं सर अब तक? सिक्योरिटी पहुंची क्यों नहीं है?
सिक्योरिटी पहुंच जाएगी।
कब?
कोई भी सरकार का विषय होता है वो तुरंत
कब तक पहुंचे?
वहां पर काम पे ही नहीं आया, तो
Here is the
security कहाँ
fundamental
जाएगी?
point of the problem. When will the
बिल्कुल
security
तुरंत
get
पहुंच जाएगी,
there?
तुरंत पहुंच जाएगी।
तुरंत
जब
मतलब
CM
क्या? आप
साहब
मुझे
ने-
डेट
जब
दे
CM
दीजिए,
साहब ने
कब
बोला
तक आ
है,
जाएगी, तब तक
जब
डॉक्टर अपने
CM साहब
काम पे
होम
वापस आ
मिनिस्टर भी है,
जाएंगे।
सीएम साहब होम मिनिस्टर भी है। जब होम मिनिस्टर एक सुप्रीम अथॉरिटी है, सुप्रीम अथॉरिटी ने आपको एश्योर किया है, उसके बावजूद भी आप लोग अगर
शैलेश
काम
गांधी,
पर
how many
नहीं आएंगे,
assurances have we
तो
received
मुझे
from these
लगता है कि
various
आपको
supreme
वापस से
authorities in
सोचना
the past?
चाहिए।
जून 2016 के एश्योरेंस का क्या हुआ ये बताइए ना।
जून का एश्योरेंस क्या था?
कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं।
जून 2016 के एश्योरेंस का क्या हुआ ये बताइए ना।
जितने भी डॉक्टर्स हैं,
अरे भाई साहब, जून 2016 में एफिडेविट दिया था
जो गरीब मर रहे हैं, आप उनके विषय में भी तो कुछ बोलिए ना।
अरे 2016 के जून का क्या हुआ एश्योरेंस का बताएं ना।
लोग मारे जा रहे हैं उनके विषय में भी बोलिए।
अरे वो इस वजह से नहीं मर रहे हैं कि डॉक्टर्स की वजह से। डॉक्टर्स सुरक्षा मांग रहे हैं। डॉक्टर्स ये कह रहे हैं कि हमें सुरक्षित तरह से काम करने की छूट चाहिए, हम काम नहीं कर सकते हैं, नहीं तो और कोई नहीं काम कर सकेगा इस तरह से।
डॉक्टर्स ये सबसे आदरणीय प्रोफेशन है, हमको इसके ऊपर बहुत आदर है। उनकी सुरक्षा ये स्टेट की जवाबदारी है।
बताइए, लास्ट एक महीने में जो घटनाएं घटी है उनमें से किसी पे चार्जशीट लगी है, कितना बता दीजिए।
मिस्टर गांधी has a point.
10,000 लगेंगे तो 10,000 दिया जाएगा।
लास्ट एक महीने में
convictions are negligible.
हाथ जोड़कर
Police does not even register FIRs.
I want to bring in Sujay, who represents the doctors. Sujay, here are the numbers, Sujay. And these numbers have been brought up by my research team. These numbers are true. 171 politicians get police protection 24/7 in the state of Maharashtra. 64 get it free. The state has spent 15 crore rupees on protection of VIPs in the state. 6 crore rupees is yet to be recovered from politicians who receive protection. Sujay Kandawala, in a desperate situation, when the government representative tells us that doctors are like God, when the government representative tells us that the state is most concerned with the safety of the doctors and with the health of the poorest of the poor, why can't that security be pulled and be offered to the doctors instead?
No, that is for the state to answer. I mean, definitely, if they have they have police officers and constables, they should immediately, because this is a crisis situation we are facing today. We are really facing a crisis situation after seeing the kind of images again and again, and the kind of distress that patients are going through. But let me tell you that all this will be worked out. There is a mechanism which is going to be put in place. There is an expert committee which is going to be put in place. I can see that. And the Chief Justice's court is seized of the matter. We see, judiciary today is the only last bastion of hope. Judiciary is the last bastion of hope today in this country. And there is a PIL which is before the court. Yesterday it was heard, today it was heard. The concern, the main concern, and step one is of critical emergency, is that our young doctors should resume their duty, because otherwise they will face the law, they will face stringent action against the law. And therefore, to avoid that on one hand, and also to take care of their oath, they've taken an oath. So even as far as that oath is concerned, as a responsibility, they should start treating patients. And I'm 100% sure the Advocate General is also assisting the court over here. He is taking a very proactive role. We are assisting the court by way of our association. And the Chief Justice is seized of the matter. So therefore, there will be some workable mechanism which will come out. But please resume your duties. We cannot afford to have more suffering.
Dr. Nagra.
The reason I want the resident doctors to resume work is not necessarily because of the court, not because of the appeal of the government, but because we know that it is the poorest of the poor are suffering. Exactly. All of us sitting here in this studio are not accessing public hospitals. Yes. We have sorted out healthcare for ourselves. The ruling class of this country, the lawyers of this country don't access the public hospitals. So it is the poorest of the poor are suffering.
Don't make such blanket observations.
Well,
the answer lies in policing.
But can I just complete? Can I just complete?
Please, and
therefore, don't get into the ESMA discourse.
No, but please don't divert the focus of this debate.
No, it's not diverting the focus.
Of course.
Because you're being too legalistic about it.
All
I'm saying is
the law provides a solution.
The reason why the residents must return back is because the poor are suffering. It's not because of one assurance from the government, not because of one court order, and you're invoking ESMA. That is not the relevant point here.
No, it is, and the Allahabad High Court has said you strike
you can
at
keep
your
on
risk.
quoting judgments.
Today,
and,
yes, I'm quoting judgment because
No, okay,
it's the
so
law of the
Aditya
land.
You are a lawyer, you use that.
You strike work, a patient dies, you'll be liable.
Aditya Pratap, the government
I'll
of
be happy to be liable about
Maharashtra
this case.
has flouted
Very happy.
several court orders in the past that has instructed them in the past to provide security to doctors, which has not been done. Now suddenly, why do you believe that the doctors need to follow the court orders? Where is the justice when the government doesn't follow the court orders?
I say both sides have to follow, and the prayers of all the parties should be to enforce the law, not to make it a vengeful situation. Today, for instance, the police, if a doctor is thrashed, police hesitates to register an FIR. They'll register under simple sections like hurt. Further, when a doctor is thrashed, it's a clear case of rioting. It can be a ground to invoke 107, a bond of good behavior from the patient's relatives. Further, preventive orders can be issued under section 151. But the police administration does absolutely nothing. When this breakdown happens, acts of violence happen, then reactionary gestures are such as strikes that take place. I say, even the 700 security guards is not a solution. The court and the government should give strict directions to the police station that if such a case happens, the police station should within 24 hours register an FIR under the Protection of Doctors Act and prosecute the matter.
Let me just say one more thing.
Yes.
My heart actually from the last 2 days is swelling with pride. The way the court is dealing with this matter. The court is dealing with it with real sympathy. And the court is really concerned with the most step by step. What the court is most concerned today is, step one is the suffering of the people. There are so many poor people who are suffering, and therefore the court said that, look, we are seized of the matter. We will work out a mechanism. We have full faith in our judiciary. So therefore I feel and I request, which is in consonance with what has happened in court proceedings today, that the doctor should resume work. Once they resume work, once they show from their angle that they have done their part, then 101% I'm sure that other things will fall into place. It may take a little time because this has been hanging fire from a long time, but it will happen. And
So
it will
Shailesh
happen, and I'm assisting the court. I request other like-minded people also to come and assist the court.
Mr. Katawala, the June 2016 assurance, please let us know. This is a court order which has been flouted. Please let us know. The court is aware of this. Everybody is aware of it. Mr. Sujoy, you are also aware of it. What are you doing about enforcing the June?
Shailesh bhai, I appreciate what you are saying. I appreciate.
Let there be a statement which saying that those who have failed the June 2016 affidavit will be punished. Let's at least get something for these kids.
Yes,
they are only
also,
saying, no, you must have faith in everybody.
Please.
You may get bashed up tomorrow, but have faith.
Don't give such a sordid picture about
that
those
is what is
things.
happening.
You please join the petition. Please give your suggestions also to the court.
Actually, Shailesh Gandhi, tell me this. 700 security guards that have been provided by the state government, which we haven't seen yet. I asked my reporters, they said they have not seen any more security today than there was yesterday at these hospitals. Are 700 security guards enough?
I am nobody to judge that. I cannot make a statement on that. But simple things, and I keep repeating, and this keeps getting forgotten. Number of visitors per patient to be restricted.
Yes, that was a part of yesterday's order.
So simple, it's almost like a self-evident thing in any hospital. You should restrict.
In fact, to add to what Shailesh bhai is saying,
the Chief
it has to be displayed. It has to be displayed prominently in every hospital. That is also part of yesterday's order.
A security guard is not police. 700 security guards will not solve the problem because the solution can only lie with proper policing and diligent enforcement of law. A security guard does not have the powers of policeman. He does not have the powers of
I want to show you, Aditya Pratap, Shri Kandawala, I want to show you the visuals on our screen. We're going to put that back again. These are visuals from today. These are guards who were keeping patients out of hospitals. They were telling people that there are no doctors are on strike, please leave. These were the only guards available at the hospitals. They were keeping the patients out. Dr. Nagaraj?
But you know, Faye, I just want to suggest this to my co-panelists that, you know, one must look beyond just these kind of narratives about restricting relatives. Do you know one reason why relatives in large numbers are present in hospitals, in public hospitals in India? It's because in many of the large hospitals are overcrowded. Patients are patient relatives are pushing trolleys, patient relatives are holding IV stands because there is a relative breakdown. There are huge fault lines in our public healthcare system. Relatives are playing a very active role. If you go to any country abroad, there's no relative there because there are nurses taking care. So all I'm saying is, please look at this strike, this whole brouhaha, this whole what's happening as also a marker of some of the fault lines. And this same government who is now preaching has cut healthcare budgets. This same
675 crore rupees in 1 year.
Lawyer friends here, that there have been 3 incidents in this city in the last few years. Patients with children going from hospital to hospital denied admission. So take up those cases. So whilst you we must appeal to these resident doctors, but look at the fault lines, look at this as an indicator.
Action has to come from both ends. From the doctors,
but Aditya,
from the government, from the court.
Aditya, the court has already taken action. As Sujay is witness here, he's standing here, he's telling us what the court has said. The doctors are simply afraid for their lives. These are young people who've spent the last several years qualifying to be doctors, who are now faced with the possibility that they will be beaten up at work to a point where they will lose their eyesight and have to have brain surgery and perhaps never ever be able to practice medicine again. Their lives will be ruined. In these cases, what assurances do you think will cause them to come back to work, other than actual policing at the hospitals that they can see with their own eyes?
No, exactly. What we need, law should provide a deterrence so that any person who raises a hand against a medical practitioner will know what the law has in store for him.
That deterrence, and nobody follows that law.
No, deterrence is a very powerful tool. Today, no one has the courage to raise their hands against a policeman because if he knows.
I'm sorry to tell you, Aditya Pratap, there have been repeated actions, there have been repeated attacks against police constables, and police constables in this city have died from being beaten up because they stopped someone for not wearing a helmet. Let's not, and I understand you are an officer of the law, but let us not pretend that the law is being followed in this country when it comes to police officers or when it comes to doctors, because it is not. The law is being used right now for all the wrong reasons, and the police protection is being used not for that doctor who is getting beaten up and kicked in the face mercilessly over and over again, because all of the cops are out protecting politicians and Bollywood stars.
Faye, first
and
of all,
that is the truth.
Well, Faye, I would a bit disagree with that. If the law is not being followed, we should find out what is wrong. Because if the law is not there, what do we have? Anarchy.
That's what
we cannot have anarchy here.
Dr. Nagral is here telling you exactly what is wrong. I'll tell you what is wrong. We have a state government that has cut its public health budget by 675 crore rupees this year when it should have been increasing its health budget. We don't have enough beds in these hospitals. We don't have any ventilators in these hospitals. We don't have ambulances. We don't have attendants. Babies go missing from our public hospitals all the time because there is no security. I'm telling you what is wrong. I'm telling you what is wrong. Where does that buck stop, according to you, Aditya Pratap? Does it stop at these young students whom the government expects come to work every day and risk their lives like army jawans?
No, first of all, there are various stages here. First, we have to ensure the security. To ensure
security... Let's start there. First, we have to ensure the security. How do we ensure the security? We ensure the security by putting guards and police at hospitals. I'm only stopping there. Let's just do that. We have not done that. It has been 5 days and the guards and the police have not come. 1 point.
No, the High Court
put the security at the hospital.
There should be a cap on the relatives of the patients of 2 per patient, because there are medical staff in hospitals to look after the other things. Secondly,
Yogesh Verma, I have 2 minutes. Yogesh Verma, I want you to give us
enforce the law.
Since you're here representing the state government, give us an assurance. Give an assurance, Yogesh Verma, to the people who are standing outside of hospitals, who possibly travelled from Nasik and Ahmednagar and other interior parts of Maharashtra for treatment and are not receiving that treatment. Give us an assurance that tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. that security will be available at all of these hospitals, because that is the government's job. It is the job of the Chief Minister, the job of the Home Minister, who happens to be the Chief Minister, Yogesh Verma.
एश्योर करता हूं कि जितनी जरूरत लगेगी उससे ज्यादा गार्ड्स स्टेट गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करेगी.
कब?
आप भगवान के लिए वापस आप सभी लोग काम पर आ जाइए और गरीब पेशेंट्स का ख्याल रखिए.
कब आएंगे ये सिक्योरिटी वाले?
ये कल नहीं, आज ही होगा. आज ही सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स आ जाएंगे रात को और मुझे लगता है कि हम सबको फिर एक बार इकट्ठा होकर के फिर इन जितने भी पेशेंट्स हैं इनकी सेवा फिर से शुरू कर देनी चाहिए और वापस से सब कामों को रिज्यूम करके वापस से अपनी ड्यूटी को रिज्यूम करते हुए और जो भी समस्या आएंगी उस समस्या को मिल बैठ करके साथ में मिल करके उसको सॉल्व करते हुए जिस लेवल पर समस्या आएगी, चाहे इन्होंने बताया कि वहां पर हाइजीन का भी समस्या है, सिक्योरिटी की समस्या है, बेड कम है, जितनी विषयों के ऊपर जो भी कमियां होगी वो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट उसको पूरा करेगी और वो 100% पूरा होगा।
I'm very glad Yogesh Verma has made a commitment here on national television on the urban debate. He has promised that tonight all of the necessary security will arrive at the hospitals. He has promised that by tomorrow morning everything will be done. Yogesh Verma, I promise you in return one thing, that our reporters will be checking very, very carefully. And I believe right now that the buck stops at the state government. This is nobody else's responsibility but the state government's responsibility. We don't need you to fall at anybody's feet and beg them to come back to work. We don't need you to apologize. We don't need you to make speeches. We need you to put police officers at hospitals. It is as simple as that. You have a health minister, you have a home minister who happens to also be the chief minister. All you need to do, it's a law and order situation. We've been saying it. We are lay people. We've been saying it for 2 days on this channel. All you need to do is to move every spare police officer you have to the hospitals. Give the residents an assurance that they will be safe and they will return to work. That is all that needs to be done. There is no need for conversation. There is no need for dialogue. There is need for action. And I keep saying this over and over again. Do more, do better, do your job. Dear Mr. Chief Minister, send the police officers to the hospitals. Give these people the care they need. We cannot let you lose another life. We refuse to stand by and watch this while it happens. This is a desperate situation. Words will just not do. We're going to be watching.